AM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're now listening to INCRadio United Kingdom Satellite Studio.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. You are listening, tuning in, and watching INCRadio United Kingdom. And I am one of your co-hosts for today. You may be thinking, who is this person? She's normally producer today, but I am stepping in front of the camera, and my name is Grace Lewis, and we are broadcasting from London, United Kingdom. And joining me today is, you may recognize the surname. You may know her sister, but I think she might be my favorite sister. Maybe not. I've got two of them today. You'll see them. But let me welcome you first. Let me introduce to you my co-host.
Hello everyone, I'm Sister Ariane Celestino, and yes, that sister was actually Erica Celestino. So here today, also just a reminder for those watching us live on YouTube, don't forget to keep commenting throughout the show. And
yes, Sister Ariane, it's so lovely to co-host with you. Normally it's your sister, but I'm very excited to co-host with you today. And we've got another sister as well joining us later, which we'll talk about in a bit. But I'm very excited because today's show is something that's such a wonderful topic. Don't you agree? It's a topic that you just think, can I go back to being their age?
yes.
Well, and I think in your case, Sister Ariane, you'd be quite a expert anyway in this topic. And what it is that in various clusters around the District of Britain South on last Friday, our young brothers and sisters held a activity, and it's called, they participated in the CWS Children's Worship Service Tagisang ng Talino. I really hope I got that pronunciation right, because my Tagalog is not that great.
Ate Grace, it was actually
Yeah, right?
Yes. At least it wasn't, it's a guess and
I tried my best to put the Tagalog accent on when I said it. But yes, so that's an activity that was conducted, and we're so happy about this activity. And you may be thinking, what is this activity? What does that mean in English? Or what's the translation? So there's various translations of this, but it's an activity it's a quiz, essentially. And what we are going to discuss is, what type of quiz was it for the children? And joining us today, we have some of the Children's Worship Service officers. Isn't it right, Sister Ariane?
Yes. So like here with us today, we have guests from around the district of Britain South. First of all, I wanted to introduce, let's say, someone that I'm
maybe someone that
kind
looks
of
familiar.
looks like me. So, Ate Arabelle, would you like to introduce yourself? So if you're able to mention your name, your local, and the district, as well as your church duties.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Sister Grace. Hello, Sister Ariane. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Sister Arabelle Celestino, coming all the way from Heathrow, local of Heathrow, here in the district of Britain South. And yes, since we are talking about the Tagisan ng Tailino, I am a vice president in our local here in Heathrow. And thank you so much for having me.
So next we have
Who
we
should we
actually
do?
have a brother today.
And he's
Um,
making. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ariane. I think he's making his debut. He's
isn't
making
it?
his debut
I
on
think it's
INC
the
Radio
first
United
time as well.
Kingdom.
Yes.
So isn't it? It's a wonderful topic for you to join us with, and you're with people that you know. So it's okay. Don't be shy. Don't be
Scared.
shy.
So, JD, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jericho Season from Heathrow, from the district of Britain South, and my duty is CWS watcher. But as you know, as Arian also knows, everyone just calls me JD for short. Thank you for having me on the show. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, JD. And lastly, we have Velai. Hello, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
Hello, everyone. It's nice to see you. I'm Sister Velocity Aliermo. Everyone calls me Velai. I'm from the local congregation of Battersea, District of Britain South, and I am a CWS watcher and treasurer, actually. It's very, very nice to see everyone here.
So, Sister Erin, we're surrounded by Children's Worship Service officers, and I've just realised we're surrounded by people that JD is Jericho, Vela is Velocity, Bell is Arabelle, but me and you, we keep our names.
It's the original,
The original. We keep our names. But I think that's it's a familiar thing to do when you're children, when you're young as well. And sometimes it just stays with you.
With nicknames, yes.
Yeah. And that's nice when we talk about children's worship, the children as well. So what we're going to do first is, before we get into the activity itself, we're going to take our listeners on a flashback, recap on the activity itself. And to our people, our listeners on YouTube, if you see your photo, just if you see a photo there, just make sure you say, that's me, I can see it. So if we can play our video 1, which is the CWS recap. Is it going? Yep, there you go. So this is the local congregation of Heathrow, which was the venue for it. Now, Sister Erin, what was the local congregations involved in cluster 1?
So in cluster 1, we had Notting Hill, the local congregation Notting Hill, Reading, Heathrow North, Guildford, and Heathrow. Yes, and Heathrow.
Don't forget your own local congregation, Sister Erin. Don't forget that. And as you can see, we also had the cluster, I think this is cluster 4, which was the Battersea cluster. And if we can go back to that video, first of all, to our tech in main studio, if we can please go back to the recap video. We don't want to go to the other videos just yet. To our tech. But yes, Sister Ariane, what we do before, when our tech in main studio plays to the right video, what we will do is, with this video, what we saw is the children playing, doing the activity, and you saw the parents behind, right? You saw them just watching them, enjoying their kids
and supporting them as well, and cheering for them like during the activity. Also, for each cluster, we had winners. I mean, everyone is a winner at the end of the day, as long as they participated. In cluster 1, we have Brother Sebastian Bison from Notting Hill as champion.
Yay!
Well done, congratulations. And we have Sister Skylar Paige Bautista from Reading as a first runner-up. Beatrice Daniela Sorisantos from Heathrow North as second runner-up. Well done for cluster 1. And then cluster two, we have Rafael Nathan Cosio from Cambridge, which was the champion for cluster two. Well done,
Oh,
Neil.
good to see.
Neil Bastian Conwell Tiong. I hope I'm pronouncing all the names correct.
I think you're doing a better job with the pronunciation of names than I would.
I might have the Italian accent, you know. But yes, brother Neil Bastian Conwell Tiong from Romford as first runner-up. Um, Agatha Lubis from Hertfordshire, second runner-up. Well done, cluster two. Cluster three, we have Julia Cassandra Chrysosmo from Stratford, which was the champion for cluster three, and Caleb Lee Soliman from Central London as first runner-up. Cluster four, we have Theo Aratea from Camberwell as champion, Luis Miguel Chris from Battersea, first runner-up, and Lord Leon Quinto from Sutton, second
Yay,
runner-up.
my local congregation.
Oh, nice! And then lastly, cluster five, we have EJ Bonduk from Turkey, which was champion, Caitlin Felipe from Portsmouth as first runner-up. And as second runner-up, we have Tamara Thomas from Bournemouth.
Oh, well
Well
done.
done to all the kids, and also to all the kids that participated throughout the ecclesiastical district from Britain South. Well done to everyone.
Wow, and seeing all these photos, Ariane, it's such a nice to see all of the parents watching them, encouraging them, just being there, like their supporters, and but knowing that they need to trust the kid, trust their child to do the answers. And it's so nice to see. And also seeing RCWS officers who are there. I spotted some of you in those photos. I spotted you. So yes, so Ariane, when it comes to activities like this, which is a quiz of for children's worship service, obviously there are mechanics to it. There's guidelines on how we can help facilitate this activity. So joining us, Belle is going to be giving us, for our listeners, she's going to be giving us a brief outline of what the activity is. What is Takisan Nengtlino? So Belle, why don't you give us a overview of what it is for our listeners?
Well, Tagisan ng Talino, or Battle of the Wits, is essentially a friendly quiz competition in which the children showcase what they've learned during the children's worship service. And in terms of rules and regulations, well, the materials that were given are the lessons that are taught during the CWS, or children's worship service. So essentially, they just needed to review it because it wasn't something new to them. And for this one, for this Tagisan ng Talino, they were given 10 lessons that were preached in the span of 3 different months. So like from July to September. And in terms of criteria, the participants had to be CWS members, or Children's Worship Service members, that are aged between 8 to 10 years old. So it was quite exciting because they're still quite young,
Yeah,
right?
wow. And
And
I probably would not have been able to advise.
yeah.
I know I probably would. My memory is not that great these days. But I know that Ariane, you are you're a bit of an expert in this
Oh,
activity. Is that
I
correct?
wouldn't say I wouldn't say an expert, but I can say that I actually participated in the CWS Tagisan ng Talino when I was a CWS. I wish I was still a CWS.
I think we all wish that.
So yes, I did participated quite a few times, and God willing, I was also able to represent at a time when I was back in Italy, um, their district, and I was able to go to the Philippines as well, as it was such an
Wow.
experience, because I wasn't even able to speak any other languages apart from Italian, so learning it in Italian was the most effective way for me to also understand the words of God, as well as participating the activity. And funny thing, going to the Philippines because of this activity was my first time going there. So it was blessings upon blessings. And as a kid, I don't even remember how I've studied, because I think at this point in life I wouldn't be able to do it. But
Like when hearing Sister Bell with about the materials, that takes a lot of dedication from each of the participants to really want to study and focus on the revision materials. So, to our CWS teachers and officers here, how did you help prepare the children for this activity? Because we know we had the local congregation level first, and then the winner from each local congregation represented your local congregation in the cluster level, which was held recently. So, Melai, tell us about how did you help the children prepare for this activity?
Well, at Grace, we um, went over the lessons together as a group and sometimes individually as well, so that they would understand um, which parts of the lesson would be in the quiz. Um, and we conducted the local level first in our function hall in the Battersea Chapel, which is very enjoyable actually, because all the children gathered themselves together in answering the questions together. So yeah, it was actually it was quite easy for them because they would know majority of the questions, the answers to the questions anyway, because they were listening carefully to the lessons in the CWS. So I believe it was easy for them. So yeah.
Wow, you're right when it comes to it's easy for them because they're younger, their memory is much better than us, but also the study habit as well. It's there already from school. It is just about revision of the materials, and like you said, it's something that they've listened to during the worship service that they've ingrained into their minds already because it's what they know in their daily lives. And so it's just about being able to put that into a quiz for them, an answer type question for them. So JD, what about you in Heathrow? How did you help the children with their preparation for this?
So, kind of similar to Velai, we would after a lesson, during the committee prayers, I would get the lesson and kind of recap what the most important parts of it, and then maybe ask some of the children within my group questions from the lesson so that they could kind of remember the most important parts. And I feel like this kind of would help them in as preparation for the competition.
Okay, so that's really nice to hear. And how you used being after the worship service with the children and how to help them go over the questions. Sister Ariane, how did you, as a child, how did you do your revision for this? How did you prepare? And how did the officers
So
that teach you? Or was it one of your sisters that was teaching you?
So I actually have an auntie back in Italy, and she's a CWS teacher. So she would come home and she would help me memorize the lessons. And whenever I would do my own revision, for me, the most effective way was repetition. So I even memorized the actual question. So before they ask, I already knew what they wanted, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna write it
That's
down.
a good study habit. That's a good study trick, even in general for like school and stuff. It's
Yes.
memorizing the answers, but to the level where you have to understand it, because that's
Yes.
the difference between school revision and activities like this for children in the church, in for children's worship service. It's not just about memorizing. It's about actually understanding why we have certain you know, life instructions and guidelines.
Mhm. That's what I loved about activities like this as a kid, because apart from participating within church activities, I was also be able to learn and understand the teachings of God at that
Absolutely.
age, and that made me feel like closer to God, and my faith was quite like, until now it's growing and it's strong. And I think that's how kids nowadays, especially because they're the future of the church, it's a good way to implement those teachings within themselves.
Yeah, definitely. You know, like you're saying, it's the teachings. These are teachings that we know, and it's just where having these activities helps to remind the children of it in this manner, in this way. Um, Belle, what about you? I know you were part of the HEFO cluster with JD. How did you help prepare the children? Did you have your own ways of helping to teach them?
Well, apart from having our uh comedy prayer after the children's worship service, um I would usually check up on them because that's the easiest way to see if they're nervous or not. But yes, every time that we'd see each other in the house of worship, I'd always check up on them and then on the parents as well, if like their children are like excited about it, because at the end of the day, it's an activity in church, so it doesn't matter if it's a competition or not, because at the end of the day, as Aaron said earlier, everyone is a winner. So
Yeah,
yes, and also by encouraging them to, you know, um, be more active in a way where at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, because you are gaining more knowledge about, God's commandments. So I would always remind them that it's okay, because you you still are a winner after
yeah.
all of that,
And I think that's what they need. The children, they're very good at understanding that okay, you didn't win, but it's okay. You know, and that's as children's worship service officers, you help that, you teach that to them, that it's okay. The most important part is participating. It's just joining the activity. If you get a trophy with it, that's great. But it is just about just being part of it. And I've found that in all of the activities that we've all done, the core group competitions, it's just being part of the activity that I found was the most fun part of it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ate Grace. As Sylvia's watchers were also the one being an example for the little
Yeah.
kids, being active and even just participating. It doesn't mean we always have to win, or but being there, it makes you like, it's not just you being there, but also the love of the brotherhood, as mentioned. So how Bella, sorry, I do have a question for you. How did you facilitate the activity in your cluster?
So in our cluster, I was in charge of being the timekeeper. So pretty much um I timed every round. So 15 seconds for the easy round, 20 seconds for the medium round, and 30 seconds for the difficult round. And I was also um assisting the game master um seeing uh if the children are writing their questions down, answers down at the same time, and also checking up on um, what their answers are and helping out in in giving out the answers to the questions, so that it'll be a fair activity. So that making sure that everyone um, has a chance to um, answer the questions fairly. So,
Thank you, Belay, for your answer. So, since you had the activity done in another cluster, I was wondering if JD, did you have any challenges that you face throughout the activity? Maybe technical difficulties or you know?
Well, during our activity, the setup was that the parents would be right behind them and the children would be in chairs kind of in front so that they could see the question. But obviously, in that situation, even if I were there myself, I would be kind of nervous. So at every break, I would check on the children, checking if they're comfortable, checking if they're okay, and also making sure that the event ran smoothly and they all got to give their answers in time as well.
Thank you, brother JD. Actually, this reminds me of when I participated myself, and I was in the Philippine Arena, and it compared to my size back then, uh, it's such a massive
I can imagine your
venue.
nerves, how you would have been so scared for this.
I I
Ariane.
don't even remember, but I think I don't want to remember because like I
But
think I
it's like
could
what
see
JD was
everyone there.
saying. But it's like what JD was saying about, that's one of the challenges is just making sure the children aren't nervous because they've studied for this, and you can see that they're prepared, but sometimes nerves can get the best of anyone. Like JD was saying, even him now at this age, he's probably still be nervous. I know I would be. And I get nervous for my niece and my nephew when I see them performing in
Yes,
competitions.
even just watching them, isn't it?
I know, so I can imagine as a parent as well. So, that's obviously one of the challenges that as officers you present, helping to make the participants be relaxed and, let them give them that confidence as officers, to give them the confidence to trust in their knowledge, you know. Yeah, I can definitely agree, JD, about the nerves. As a proud auntie, I would be like, whew, what question are we on now?
You know, I had Ate Arrow next to me because I was one of the evaluators, and she would she would try to hold my hand, and she would like, I'm like, please calm down because I'm nervous as well. I'm watching all of them right now. Please help me here.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes the parents and the aunties and the uncles, but they're more nervous than the children.
Isn't
The
it?
children are like,
The
don't worry,
children
I've got this.
the children seem more like put together than the parents at the back, like looking at them at the back.
I would love to hear some of the experiences of some of the parents in our YouTube chat. Tell us about your experiences watching your children perform and your nerves for this, because I can imagine having seen it, having lived through it with my niece and my nephew. I would love to hear about their experiences in our YouTube chat. So our listeners, make sure you're putting your comments in about your time of watching your children perform. So yeah, so Ariane, when it comes to the challenges, there's what about from the other local congregations?
So what about Velai? Sorry. What about in your cluster? Did you also have any other challenges you faced, or?
I think the main challenge that we had was trying to tell the children that it's okay to make mistakes,
Yeah.
because there'll be times where there, especially the difficult questions, it would be like a really long answer, um, and sometimes like they won't be able to get it on the first try. But we kept telling them it's okay to make mistakes,
Yeah.
and that it is a learning curve for them as well. And as long as they're on the right track on answering the questions, even if they don't get it correctly the first time, it's also like it's even nerve wracking for us, because it's kind of like, um, what can we do to tell them that they are on the right track? They know the correct um, answers themselves, and it's okay for them to just keep going when if they make a mistake. So
Yeah, definitely, Rally. So, actually, I just saw one of the messages for in the YouTube chat from from Sister Lani King. She said to, where was it? It was quite a good one. She said, I'm always nervous watching, but after the activity, I'm always so proud of them. And and I can
It's
actually see
such a nice
Atalaya doing
hobby.
that. She said, they're always nervous during, but they're so proud of their children afterwards. And going now to how we feel as officers, as we feel as facilitators in activities like this. How did you feel, Ariane?
So witnessing it at first hand, comparing it, like from my personal experience, like doing it and actually seeing the little kids, doing it, nowadays, I feel like wow, like the church is growing, but we're not stopping having these kind of activities that help us strengthen our faith, but also bond with one another, because throughout this activity I know that all the kids, apart from having this feeling of being anxious or nervous, I know that we all spent this time in a really, like, we had good company,
Yeah.
apart from that we also had a good meal together. We were able to catch up with a lot of brethren that we don't usually see um,
Oh yeah, because
daily.
it's different clusters, isn't it? Different local congregations coming together.
Mhm. So I I'm really happy actually to see all the kids continuously participating in this kind of activity, and hopefully maybe in the future they also take up duties in the CWS organization.
Most definitely.
We love CWS.
We love CWS. And JD, what about yourself? How did you feel um, as an officer when you saw these children participating and studying hard for this activity?
As a CWS watcher, seeing that the kind of effort that we put in every time we go into to have a children's worship service, all the time I take extra to go through the questions with them and just checking up on them like after the CWS. It just shows that I'm kind of inspired because I get to see that all the effort I put in, it inspires them to continue on in activities like this. And I hope that through continuing to do this, I continue to inspire them to attend more of these CWS activities and even get more people
Definitely.
to join the CWS.
And it does go back to being setting an example. Like you said, you're setting an example to the children, and by being active in activities like this, and they're seeing you as their big brother, queer, or big sister at um, being the first ones to facilitate these activities. And who knows, down the road, they'll probably be the ones facilitating the next generation, right? Because they've seen you've set the example. Mela, what about you? How did you feel when you saw the children participating in this
Um,
activity?
I felt like really proud of them because, like, for example, if they would get a question wrong, you can see that they can get really frustrated that they didn't get the answer correctly, but in a good way, in a sense that they want to keep trying better at learning the lessons, recapping all the lessons that they've heard in the CWS, which shows like they have faith of their own, that they are continuing to um, learn more about the words of God. And in to me as an officer, and even just as my own faith, it's making me want to strive to learn more and be and it strengthened my faith even more. So I encourage all of the children to be active in the activities, especially as seeing a lot of them grow up. And for example, I have a sister of my own who's not syllabus anymore. um she I can see the children grow up strong in their faith, because uh, they're being active all the time. So I encourage every City Best member to attend and be active in the activities.
Yeah, I really love like the fact that you mentioned also the growth, because as they're growing within the church, apart from us being examples for them, they also are growing surrounded by officers that love them. And I know that if you instill that within the kids at this age, they're gonna grow up knowing that they also want to show and make the future brethren feel the same way.
Definitely, Ariane. And and just on a side note, I think all of us, our expressions when Bella said that her sister is no longer CWS, that she's grown to all of us, we're like, Tori's that age now. I think all of our
Right.
expressions were like, she's that big now. I think all it was funny. I wish our listeners could have seen our faces when Bella said about her sister growing so age, and it rings very true that the children are growing up so fast, and we as officers have to make sure that we are always there to support them. And because in school they get all of this peer pressure, and as officers we have to be that additional help to them, that additional voice to them, of knowing that friends are great, but as members of the Church of Christ, we have our teachings and we should follow them. We should be good Christian examples, and to be good Christian examples to our friends in school. At the end of the day, that's how we should always be. And it's activities like this that reaffirm to our young children, our young brothers and sisters, about the teaching that we uphold. And like we all said, that they learn it through through a fun way. And so to our listeners today, and most importantly to our children, our young brothers and sisters that tuned in, we hope that these activities inspire you. We hope that our officers today have inspired you as well. And above all else, keep keep being strong in your faith. This is, like we all said, it's the next generation of the members of the Church of Christ. It's the youth. And so, we are so thankful to our beloved church administration for approving activities like this in our district. We're so grateful that we have these opportunities to do this. And we in our district, and in District of Britain South and Britain North, which you're going to be seeing later, and in Ireland, we have so many fun activities for our children. And we are just so grateful that we have this opportunity to do so. We're going to go to some of our shout outs from our guests. So brother JD, do you have any shout outs at this point you want to do?
Uh, I'd like to shout out all of the Cluster 1 candidates who participated in the Tagisan and Talino, especially Notting Hill and CEBSI, because they won. But yeah, because I was right next to him and I was seeing how intently he was writing. So once again, I was quite inspired by that as well. So yeah. Also, Sister Maureen, the participants from Heathrow North, and yeah, and Guildford as well. Thank you.
Great. Relai, do you have any shout outs?
I would like to shout out all of the um, Cluster 4 participants, specifically Brother Theo Artea from Camberwell, who won on Friday, and also the first and second runner-up from Battersea and Sutton. Congratulations to all of you. Yeah. And yeah, so I congratulate every single one of you, and well done for all of your efforts in our activities.
And Belle, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Well, I would like to shout out every CWS officer, from teachers to watchers to presidents. Honestly, without your help, these kind of activities wouldn't be able. We wouldn't be able to have these kind of activities without you. And of course, the church administration. Thank you so much, for your support. But yes, thank you, Ate Grace, for having us as well. And
Thank you,
Arian.
thank you. And so, to our listeners, it may be the end of the topic, but it's not the end of the show, because we've got our next segment coming up, and it's one that everyone is always like, what local congregation is going to be featured this week? So we ask all of our listeners to stay tuned. We're going to have a short original music video break, and then we're going to go straight into our CFO in action segment. And I'm going to give you a bit of a teaser on which local congregations are being featured, so you can tell your officers, listeners, join. You have to watch, and you're going to be featured. We have Wimbledon from Britain South, we have Portsmouth from Britain South, and we also have Manchester from Britain North being featured. So stay tuned. We'll be back right after this music video. Thank you.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
It's only round one, trying to catch my breath. Hits from everywhere, I'm covering my head. Been here before, so what's to fear? I knew this fight would come, I've trained all these years. So when it goes down, I'm ready for the big fight. Facing my opponent in this ring that they call life. There's a new normal, a lot more melodies. Ready for the times that we face upon. So I'm ready now. I'm not afraid, I'm ready. I'm brave now. I'm standing straight, I'm ready. I'm brave now. My faith is wavering. So what it is, my voice down. Ace Goods. Ain't no trial, ain't no test, ain't no hardship that I can't face. Ain't no flood, hurricane, fire, even people ain't gonna bring me down. Ace Goods.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back. And that was, I think we all remember that dance video, that performance. Sister Ariane, do you remember it?
Yes, with the backflips, with all those cool moves. So also apart from the INC original music video with all the talented brethren around the United Kingdom and also Europe, as we leaning towards the CFO in action, in from the local congregation of Wimbledon, district of Britain South, we had this activity, CFO bowling, as we can see. The different families all together from the book club organization, whoever is married, the Kadigwa, who is 18 and above, the Binhi, 18 under, and the CWS, as we've been talking throughout this whole episode, all the children in the children worship service. We can see how much fun they're having playing all together. Um, and it seems that they're not only playing and um, playing.
I'm not great at bowling, Sister Ariane. So I need that little helper thing, that slide thing. I'm
The one the kids use, the one.
I need one of those. I'm not great at bowling, so I definitely applaud all of our brethren that attended that activity today. The activity in the local congregation of Wimbledon. For it's nice to see activities like this in a sporting but friendly manner, because it's where it's like, I got a strike.
Well, they're also spending quality time together as well.
I know, definitely, and that's one of the nice things about this. And we are now going to go to the district of Britain North, which will be our CFO nature walk. And this was done in the local congregation of Manchester, if this can be displayed. Yes. And so I remember seeing these photos, and I remember looking at it thinking, oh, wow, I don't think I would be able to even walk half of the distance in this. And I definitely applaud all of our brethren in the local congregation of Manchester that attended this activity. It was done in Dovestone Reservoir in the Peak District National Park. And, they came prepared. They had their walking boots, their sticks. And it's so nice to see activities like this where it's outdoors. And let's all be honest, we don't get sunshine a lot. So
yeah, the view looks stunning.
I know, right?
I've never been there actually. I
I've
really
never
want to
gone
visit.
to that area before, and so it's nice to see activities like this where it's a sporting fitness activity. But like I said, I know I would probably be the one at the back.
Just walking slow.
Everyone would just be like, Grace, hurry up. But it's nice because it was for all ages. As you can see, our older brethren helped in this activity. They attended, and it was everyone's own pace. So huge congratulations to the officers of Manchester that helped facilitate this activity and helped everyone have this activity in a safe manner. So it's really nice to see you, right, Sis Ariane?
Yes, at Grace. And also, as back to Britain South, we have the local creation of Portsmouth, and they also had a CFO bowling. Um,
I think
I
bowling
think
is a good fun activity to have, you know, Ariane, because so this was Portsmouth, and
I can't really wait
yeah,
to have another Unity Games.
I know
With
we should
all
have
the
bowling.
locals
I remember we had the Unity Games bowling
last
edition, and
year.
that was
Yeah.
so much fun. Honestly, I'm not, like I said, I'm not great at bowling, but it's nice that it's an activity where you don't need to be super fit. For. You
You
can
just
just
have
go
to
to
throw the
push the ball,
ball
just push it down the
and
aisle.
try to make as much points as possible.
But it's so nice that activities like, and especially here, because like I said, we don't get sunshine all the time. So if it's raining, this is a really fun activity to have
Indoor.
indoors. And you see brethren of all ages doing this activity. And to be fair, I'm not great, and I'm pretty sure that people twice my age is much better at bowling than I am.
You know, my mom is actually better than me.
This is what I'm saying. This is an activity for all ages that everyone can participate in.
Everyone is included, and even the kids are able to play. As you mentioned, with the stove that helps you
I know.
just throw
That's what
it
I would use
straight.
most times. And we have our last activity, which is from again the local congregation of Manchester in the district of Britain North. And going back to CWS activities, this was the cooking challenge. And this was an activity where it was, the children were able to learn new skills. And I think at the end of the day, Ariane, is that's such a nice thing to have to, learn new skills, learn how to make. I think they make like mango pies because I can see them
I
being there.
love like anything with mango. I love.
I remember I seeing some of the photos, and it's such a fun activity. And to have new skills, because I'm not great at cooking by any means, and so as a child to have that new skill built into you, just learning simple desserts,
Mhm.
not even like cooking, but just preparing it. It's a fun activity to have. And the children worship service officers in Manchester, definitely well done for having this activity for the kids. And look, they look so happy,
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure everyone was eating afterwards.
and also everything looks so good. I
I
really
know,
want to
right?
try them.
Look at
I'll just go up north just to
I
try them
know. Local congregation of Manchester. We would like to go visit.
one day when we're
Can
gonna
we
have
go
an activity
visit
all
your local
together
congregation?
again.
We'll be your judges.
I don't
We
mind.
can
I
look
don't
with
mind.
you. Activities like we said, activities like this, and that it makes us all strong in our faith. And we've got so many more activities coming up. We've got our Europe Unity Games in Barcelona, taking place. If you haven't booked your ticket yet, book it. It's an activity you are not going to want to miss. Honestly, it's an activity that everyone needs to go to. It's so much. It's going to be so much fun.
All Europe is coming, isn't it?
Yes, the Europe Unity Games. And tomorrow in the District of Britain South, we have our CFO get together in Hunt's farm for classes 1 to 4. And it's an activity that, again, it's family orientated. We're so excited to do. And, we're reading so many YouTube shout outs, Ariane, right?
And comments. Actually, since you mentioned the activity for tomorrow, we have a brother, Jules, and he commented, "Can't wait to see everyone from Britain South Po tomorrow in Guildford. Love you, Po from Eastbourne.
I
We'll
know
see you there."
everyone, we've
Dear
got
brother.
so many people are talking about their plans, what they're going to bring for food at the tomorrow. What do we have? We have
I'm actually excited for the games as well. because I heard that they plan this whole program, and hopefully, like a lot of us can participate and make new friends
like
and catch
Brother
up.
Michael Bautista Ariane is saying, district CFO get together with tomorrow 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'll see you there. Hashtag Heathrow, hashtag Britain South. Hi, Ku Mike. Thank you for always tuning in. We've seen so many brethren. We've got I think I saw your mom at one point commentating.
I also
we have Sister Tina and Christina Hebrew. Greetings, part to all of the brethren in Britain North from hashtag Heathrow. We have we have someone from Thailand as well. Oh gosh, our YouTube channel
we
is
have
going,
so many comments at the moment.
It's going crazy.
As well.
We have, let's see, we have
Brother Aaron Medina saying happy watching po. Greetings to our resident minister Cassette Hebrew, Sister Christina, Victoria, and Miguel. Hashtag Heathrow.
We have who else? We got so many. We got Brother Roland Flores, hashtag North London. We got Darlene, hashtag Swindon, hashtag Oxford. Everyone, I love is that everyone's putting the hashtags of their local congregations in. They're making it known that they want to be featured on INC Radio. We have Dali Cruz tuning in from Bangkok, Thailand. We are international today. But we have so many shout outs that we would love to read them all out.
All of them.
But I think we would be here all day, and I think our next program will be like, guys, we've got the next broadcast. So Ariane, do you want to lead us out?
So sadly, we're almost at the end of our show today. We also would love to acknowledge the Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, the Christian Family Organization Coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo, the District Supervising Ministers. In Britain South, we have Brother Harley Alcantara. In Britain North, Brother Romeo Anthony Pena. And in Ireland, Brother Pepito Aquesta. And we would also would like to acknowledge all the ministers in all the ecclesiastical districts of Britain North, Britain South, and Ireland, as well as all INC Radio UK crew.
Definitely. Especially shout out to our INC Radio crews for always each week producing our live shows. Thank you so much to our host and our guest today as well for joining. And to our listeners, keep listening to INC Radio UK via live audio streaming or via our galatianchristol.net/INC Radio. Also, don't forget to take a selfie, send it to us. Telegram us that you're watching. We always want to see you all watching and definitely commentating during our live broadcasts, doing your hashtags. We got to make sure you get your hashtags with your local congregations in. You can also listen to us on live audio streaming through mobile application and via our YouTube channel. To find us on YouTube, how would you do that? You just got to type in INC Radio United Kingdom and the date. And then you can rewatch any of our programs. We even have a playlist of all of our previous shows. So it's all in one condensed playlist for you to rewatch your favorite moments. And don't forget to always visit INC News and Updates via Facebook, IG, and X regarding all the latest church events happening around the world. So from all of us here on INC Radio United Kingdom, I don't think me and Ariane has practiced this yet, but we're going to try to get our best. Good evening.
Good
afternoon.
Good
And good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Bye.